Our fellowship is located on the ancestral homelands of the Boscosa, the land from Lake Wenatchee down to the Wenatchee River, across the Columbia River to the land right here is the ancestral land of the Boscosa, the Wenatchee people. For thousands of years, a time of immemorial, the Boscosa have been stewards of this land, fishing, hunting, gathering plants for medicine and food, and practicing cultural traditions. The Boscosa, now part of the Confederated Tribe of the Colville Reservation, still live here. We acknowledge that their land has been taken over because of U.S. government broke treaty obligations and allowed uninvited colonizers to settle here. We stand beside the community of the Boscosa First Nation people as they continue their traditions and seek to have their rights recognized. You can find more information on this subject on our website, cascadeuu.org. Please go to the Justice page of the CUUF website to find the web links to Indigenous rights, reparations, and advocacy groups.
The wise Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius pointed out, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." He also said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Shakespeare had a similar message. "There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." And from the contemporary writer Remez Sasson, "Riches, mediocrity, and poverty begin in the mind. A positive attitude awakens inner strength, energy, motivation, and initiative."
The chalice and flame symbolize our congregational gather in the principles and faith. For those at home with the chalice, please join us in lighting. Please join in speaking. The lighting words printed on the order of service are on the screen. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek and seek to share. Now we have a story for all ages. I had a request to do the bear story again, and I have a helper here. Nancy is helping hold the screen, and people in the congregation will be able to see the story on the screen. Would you like to sit where you are, or would you like to sit on the floor? You want to stay right there? Okay. Well, I'm going to position myself somewhere I can see.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. The bear family and the kindness of strangers. Once upon a time, the bear family sleeps against their favorite tree deep in the forest. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear sleep peacefully under the warm sun. One dark night, lightning strikes, a wildfire breaks out. Papa Bear shouts, "Wake up and run! A wildfire is coming." In a panic, Baby Bear steps on burning branches. Baby Bear screams, "Yow!" Baby Bear's tender paws are burned. No worry, Papa Bear scoops up Baby Bear and they run from the fire. Their home, the forest, fills with smoke, cinders, and ashes. They can barely see. They run to the river for safety. Once they get to the river, they all get into the water. Papa Bear gently cradles Baby Bear on his tummy. The cold water cools Baby Bear's paws. The river carries the bears away from the wildfire, and far away from their home in the forest. The river carries the tired bears safely to the other side of the river. Poor baby bear is frightened. Papa bear says, "We are safe from the fire." Hearing this, baby bear manages a little bit of a smile. The bears are cold, hungry, and tired. They need to find shelter where baby bear's paws can heal. Papa bear carries baby bear up the rocky riverbank. They come upon a little blue house that you may recognize with a great big tree behind it. The majestic tree reminds the bears of their favorite tree back home. Now, the scary part of their journey is over. They all nestle under the big pile of leaves and rest. They sleep soundly, hidden from view beneath a big pile of leaves. Upon awakening, baby bear wakes up. Mama bear and Papa bear with a loud, "I'm hungry." Papa bear jumps into action. "Stay here, I'll go search for food," Papa bear says. They find abundance here. Papa bear returns with an armful of vegetables, fruits, bread, cheese, and other goodies, like a big gallon of honey. This is their best meal the bears have ever eaten. The meaning of gratefulness. "Where do you find all this wonderful food?" asked Mama bear. The kindness of strangers. "Over there, there is a free pantry. Very kind people filled a box with food to share with us. They like to help strangers like us," said Papa bear. The compassion and kindness of strangers. Resting, sleeping, and eating beneath the majestic tree and under the warm sun, baby bear's paws now are completely healed. The bear's hearts warm with the compassion shown by these strangers. Now it's time to say goodbye. Before leaving to find a new home, the bears try to visit the people at the free pantry one last time. The bears cannot find the people, however, but they do find the following notes. The kindness of strangers. To our new furry friends, we hope our small act of kindness helped you. There is enough for everyone when we care for each other. Safe travels. The bear family and the kindness of strangers. The bears never forget the kindness and compassion of these strangers. The bears' hearts fill with hope and goodness of this world. They believe by helping others in need, we can all live in a more peaceful, caring, positive world. Thank you. And now, people in the center aisle, if you'd like to form art. Thank you. Go to each other to find meaning in the spirit of love
that we share. Now go with each other to find meaning in the spirit of love that we share. So kudos to Hideo for not only thinking of that theme, but writing the story and drawing all those pictures. Yeah, Deb's going to be a backup. Oh, great. Okay. When your old thinking tries to come back and say, "It's so hard to change," take mental command. Say to your mind, I now choose to believe it's becoming easy for me to make changes. You may have this conversation with your mind many times before it acknowledges that you are in charge and that you really mean what you say. And from Pope Francis, remember that being happy is not having a sky without storms, a road without accidents, a job without effort, relationships without disappointments. Being happy is to stop feeling a victim and become the author of your own destiny. It's going through deserts, but being able to find an oasis deep in your soul. It's to thank God every morning for the miracle of life. It's kissing your children, cuddling your parents, having poetic moments with your friends, even when they hurt us. To be happy is to let live the creature that lives in each of us, free, joyful, and simple. Once again, thank you for being here. The word mindset has become popular today in psychology and sports and in ordinary life. It's defined as an attitude that has an impact on thought processes and behavior, or a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and yourself. A person's mindset can change depending on his or her mood and the task at hand, and we can work consciously to change our mindset as a form of personal improvement. Some examples of mindset include win-win, win-lose, thinking that for every situation there's a winner and a loser. Also, risk-taking, risk-avoiding, scarcity, abundance, victim mentality. These attributes influence how we behave, how we interact with others, how we live. The most powerful mindset is that of growth, believing that you can change, grow, and improve. This attitude has a huge effect on a person's morale and ultimate success. What mindset defines you? That question might be too broad. Let's ask it a different way. How do you look at the world? Are you an optimist, a pessimist, or a little of both? Do you see a glass half empty or half full? I'd venture to say that most of us experience a mix of mindsets or attitudes. Even the most positive person occasionally feels critical of others or loses confidence in his or her skills. And pessimists have moments of strength and glory and joy. But the purpose of my question and of this little talk today is to explore the possibilities of upgrading from negative to positive attitudes. I ran across a saying the other day. I forget where I heard it, but it goes, quote, "The happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything they have," unquote. It's a matter of how we look at things. For example, Tiffany and Megan are at a Little League game watching their 10-year-old sons play baseball. Tiffany is getting bored. There's not enough action for her. She's basically there hoping to see her son hit a home run. She starts griping about the pace of the game, the opposing pitcher's bad throws, the way the coach is standing, lots of complaints. Megan, on the other hand, also finds the game slow, but has chosen to look for the good in the situation. She gets a kick out of all the boys' haircuts and smiles and the fun they seem to be having together. She looks around the park and admires some beautiful trees. She fights her attitude of boredom by finding things, little things, that are enjoyable. And this is the key. She looks for positive sides of situations. Years ago, when I was recovering from the end of a love relationship and suffering for it, my brother-in-law gave me some good advice. I may have told you this before. He quoted some Buddhist wisdom: focus on the non-toothache. In other words, take your mind off what's hurting you and think about something positive. This was helpful to me. I was lucky in that I had 3 wonderful sons and a good job and a nice house and friends who cared about me. And so, taking Tommy's advice, Whenever I was overcome with the blues, I tried to change my focus to those good things in my life. In the field of positive psychology, experts have long known that we can create positive emotions. We don't have to stay stuck in negative mindsets. Dr. Martin Seligman, considered the father of positive psychology, insists that human beings can change and improve. He says one of the most significant findings in psychology in the last 40 years is that individuals can choose the way they think. And cognitive therapy advocates say that what we consciously think is what determines how we feel. So if our thinking affects our emotions and we can control our thinking, can we make ourselves feel happier? The answer is yes. Seligman suggests we recognize those automatic negative thoughts and dispute them. Make different explanations. Distract yourself from depressing thoughts. Recognize and question assumptions that can cause depression, such as, unless everybody likes me, I'm a failure. Once again, focus on the non-toothache. Seligman says optimism is a learned skill. Happiness sometimes requires effort, and happiness is contagious. In his book, Learned Optimism, he describes hundreds of experiments in the late 1990s with rats, dogs, and humans. One group always received some kind of reward when they performed a certain action. A second group got irregular or no positive results after performing the action. Rating phones here. Thank you. With the animals and the humans, rewards made a difference. Seligman said, quote, "Learned helplessness could be cured by showing the subject his own actions would now work. It could also be cured by teaching the subject to think differently about what caused him to fail. It could be prevented if, before the experience with helplessness occurred, the subject learned that his actions made a difference," unquote. Neuroscientist Barbara Fredrickson of the University of North Carolina has shown that a person can learn to be more positive by practicing certain skills. She set up an experiment involving 6 weeks of training in a form of meditation focused on compassion and kindness. Participants reported an increase in positive emotions and social connectiveness, and also better health. The kindness meditation improved the function of one of the main nerves that helps control heart rates, leading to less inflammation and better control of blood glucose. Fredrickson makes the following concrete suggestions for fostering positive emotions. Sometimes they involve changing your thinking, concentrating on the good, looking for the good, rather than focusing on negativity. 1, do good things for other people. Even something as small as providing directions for a stranger or helping someone carry heavy packages makes us feel good. Volunteering is great. Unselfish acts of kindness reward us as well as the person or group we're helping. 2, appreciate the world around you. It could be a flower, a bird, a sunset, even an article of clothing someone is wearing. She mentioned a man she encountered in her neighborhood who was reveling in the architectural details of the 19th century houses on the street. So look for beauty, for positive things around you, and appreciate them. 3, develop and bolster relationships. Building strong social connections enhances feelings of self-worth and, studies have shown, lead to better health and a longer life. Here at CUUF, we offer things like circle supper potlucks, covenant groups, campouts, and social interactions while working on committees, even coffee hour. We want you to feel connected. 4, establish goals that can be accomplished. Maybe you'd like to improve your tennis game or read more books. Even the simple practice of making a list of household or yard chores and crossing them off as you finish them makes you feel good. make those goals realistic. 5, practice resilience. Rather than let loss, stress, failure, or trauma overwhelm you, use them as learning experiences and stepping stones to a better future. Remember the expression, when life hands you a lemon, make lemonade. 6, practice mindfulness. Ruminating on past problems or future difficulties drains mental resources and steals attention from current pleasures. Let go of things you can't control and focus on the here and now. Remember the Dalai Lama's advice, quote, if a problem is fixable, if a situation is such that you can do something about it, then do it. Then there's no need to worry. If it's not fixable, there's no help in worrying. There is no benefit in worrying whatsoever, unquote. 7, choose to accept yourself, flaws and all. Don't focus on your imperfections and failures, but look for your positive attitudes and achievements. You don't have to brag about yourself to others, but it's healthy to feel good about yourself, even in small ways. Okay, I have a little exercise for us now. Everybody, please stand up, even you on Zoom, and spread out a little bit if you can into the aisles so you can have a little more room for your arms. I'll show you once, and then we'll repeat it a few more times. You're going to start with your right arm, and I'll do it first. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. Okay, do it. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. One more time. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. Thank you. You can sit down. Okay, before we stood up, I listed Barbara Fredrickson's ways of fostering positive emotions. Do good things for other people. Establish goals that can be accomplished. Practice mindfulness, etc. To that list, I would add an 8th suggestion. Practice gratitude. Again, it's looking for the good things that have happened to you, good aspects of your environment, and be thankful for them. What a beautiful place we live in, the Columbia River, the nearby mountains, people's beautiful gardens and yards, our clean air. Billions of people in the world live in poverty, sometimes without housing or enough to eat, picking through garbage heaps in the favelas or slums. Look at our lives here in the Wenatchee Valley. We are so blessed. Let's be grateful, celebrate the positive. Thank you, Spirit of Life. Dr. Robert Emmons at UC Davis has conducted several studies on gratitude. His research indicates that gratitude can lower blood pressure, improve immune function, reduce cardiac inflammation, increase happiness, improve relationships, and decrease depression. Gretchen Smelzer, a psychologist in Philadelphia who regularly incorporates gratitude exercises into her work with clients, says it could be especially useful during difficult times. Last year, she fell while hiking and broke both legs, leading her to use a wheelchair for 6 weeks. To avoid spiraling into negative thoughts while she continued to heal, she told herself each day to be thankful for what I can do and not let myself focus on what I can't do. She said, gratitude allows us to look at what we do have and to feel abundance. Again, focus on the non-toothache. I love the wisdom of the Dalai Lama. I have a recording of his that I listen to from time to time where he talks about mental training. He, too, agrees that we control our thinking and can change our focus to achieve peace of mind. He says, and this is kind of a long quote, as we become more accomplished in our practice, we come more and more to see the trainability of the mind. We learn to substitute positive thoughts and feelings for negative ones, and to weaken the hold that afflictive thoughts and emotions have over our minds. It's important, however, to be clear that what we are talking about here is not suppressing negative thoughts and emotions. Instead, we must learn to recognize them for what they are and replace them with more positive states of mind. And we do this not only to achieve self-mastery, but also because attaining this kind of control over our minds puts us in a much better position to compassionately benefit others. He continues, when we encounter problems in our daily lives, as all of us do from time to time, the practice of mental awareness can help us gain a more realistic perspective on what is causing us difficulty. If, for example, we exchange harsh words with a stranger, or a family member, or a colleague, or anybody, it's good to spend a few minutes during our practice holding the incident in our mind and inspecting our reactions to it. Then, visualizing our adversary in front of us, we try to generate feelings of gratitude toward him or her. With this thought in mind, we visualize ourselves bowing down to our adversaries. As we do this over and over, if the attitude is correct and our motivation pure, the aversion we feel toward this person will gradually dissipate, and we will be able to generate compassionate love in its place. Unquote. So both practicing gratitude and engaging in a compassion meditation can be good for your health, your attitude, your daily life. There's a broader principle at work here. I choose to believe that the natural order of things tends toward healing. Forest ecosystems regrow after wildfire disturbance. The human body heals itself. In most cases, there are exceptions. Scabs form, then are replaced by healthy skin. Sore muscles eventually lose their soreness, even without medical intervention. The eyes especially have an amazing ability to heal. Even emotionally, healing is the natural order. Grief, after time, becomes less and less. Hurt feelings mellow out as long as you don't consciously hold on to resentment or a wish for revenge. So in conclusion, positive psychologists advise us to fight pessimism, remember the good, count your blessings, focus on strengths, reframe the way you look at reality and your life. Centuries ago, Benjamin Franklin created a chart listing 13 virtues he hoped to express and noted his progress at the end of each week. Later in life, he concluded, human felicity is produced not so much by great pieces of good fortune that seldom happen, as by little advantages that occur every day, unquote. Doing good things for others, cultivating relationships, practicing resilience and gratitude, choosing to make lemonade out of lemons and to focus on the non-toothache, all lead to happier lives, and all are within reach of every one of us. May it be so.
The offering is an ancient element of worship. The act of giving, regardless of the amount, is a spiritual practice that expresses our thankfulness and generosity. We live these values in abundance. Joyfully sharing our gifts and strengths in service to the greater good is the way we create a beloved community. We live these values in abundance. We now will receive the offering. Okay. We extinguish this flame, but not the. Okay. We are extinguishing our chalice now. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth and the warmth of community or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together. So let's gather in the big circle for closing song.
Give my elbow. Okay. The flame of peace and love until we meet again. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Zoom.
Thank you so much.